Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome to a Q&A video. I've had quite a few people asking me to do a Q&A, so I thought, why not? I'll have a go. I've just finished recording the week's World of Warcraft episodes, so I thought I would do a bit more on here. I want to go and farm some bones on an island up here on the Isle of Giants so that I can earn myself a mount. So that is what I'm going to be doing in the background. It's nice and simple. It's not going to interrupt the video. Before we go any further, there is a massive, giant giveaway coming to this channel on Wednesday is when the competition starts. It was a donation by one incredible, wonderful, amazingly generous person, and it's completely blown me away. I'm not allowed to say who it is. He or she... Okay, yeah, he or she wishes to remain completely anonymous, but I've given away a little bit there. I may have done. That may be a red herring. You never know. But, yeah, they wish to remain completely anonymous, and so they will remain completely anonymous. But I will be giving away 4 copies of the latest expansion for World of Warcraft. We've got the Battle for Azeroth that has only just come out. I'm giving away 4 copies of that, and then there will be a 5th prize. It'll be the 5th prize drawn is 90 days of game time that will be applied to a World of Warcraft account of your choice. So there are 5 prizes to give away, and the competition starts on Wednesday. I'll be releasing a video on Wednesday outlining what you've got to do and outlining the details of the competition and how you claim your prize, so on and so forth. This is the biggest competition I've ever done on this channel. It's the biggest giveaway we've ever done on this channel. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to result in some of you... Well, it's actually going to... I'm going to be making a guild here on World of Warcraft as well, that you, the viewers, can come along and play with me on here. Now, I have a very busy schedule, as many of you know, and I will not be able to be on very much, but I will occasionally be able to jump on and do a small random little event with you, help you out with a bit of questing, something like that, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do it. So that's what's coming. That's what's happening. That's going to be turning up on Wednesday, the details of the competition, and now we will do the Q&A video, and I do want to try to keep this to about 30 minutes or so, because I'm aware that previous Q&As have gotten a bit dull because I tend to keep talking. The very first question on the list is, why don't you start hosting multiplayer lobbies so we can play Farming Simulator with you? And that is from Dano69R. I do understand this. This is something else that I have mentioned this week on World of Warcraft, that you want to play Farming Simulator with me in multiplayer. But I have seen over and over and over, in particular Daggerwin, but other Farming Simulator YouTubers as well, having huge difficulties with doing multiplayer on Farming Simulator. One, you are limited on the number of players that you can play with. Right? You are severely limited, and it does make a big difference. I think it's like 16 people that you can have going at any one time, and it does actually affect like what you can do. It does make a big difference to it, and I didn't want to just limit it to that. But also, you've got to have, like, he has so much problems with, like, seriously, he has a huge number of problems with trolls and issues with the server, which means that he's got to be the one that's there all the time. He's got to organize a time to go and be able to play, and he's not able to do sort of much else to go with it because, you know, the server's only open a set time when a few people can get in, and he can stop the trolls from causing a load of problems. I don't want that, and I don't have the time to be able to manage something like that, and I'm not able to do it. I'm not physically able to do that, and I don't have the time, which is why I'm not doing it. I haven't done it before, and I won't be doing it in the future either. At least not anytime soon. By doing some multiplayer here on Warcraft, I am able to have something happening. There is some opportunity for you to be able to play with me. And this is a lot more open-ended. It's not going to be, you know, it can't be subjected to trolls because of the way that the game works, which is going to make it a lot easier for everybody involved. And My personal life, I've got a wife who has MS and has some really, really bad days sometimes, is not able to, she's just not able to do very much at all some days, and it requires a lot of my attention. So some weeks you won't see me at all. I could go for weeks and weeks and weeks and you won't see me. And then other times you will see me some of the time, but not all the time. There's a lot of people running around after these dinosaurs at the moment. So yeah, it's... that's why, and I do appreciate that me setting up multiplayer and arranging to do multiplayer here on World of Warcraft is going to upset some people, and it's not what you want to be hearing. You want to be doing this on Farming Simulator. A big chunk of you want to do this on Farming Simulator, and I do appreciate that. Unfortunately, it's not able to happen, and this is how it's going to be. Maybe I'll be able to do something different in the future, but I can't right now.
Too far away.
Ooh, he's too far away over there. Let me just grab that one. So, next question. Can you say what components you have in your PC from Moritz Gamer 4? I have a GTX 10... Is it GTX? GeForce GTX... I think it's a 1080. And a... I honestly don't remember what else it is. It was... I bought it, I think we're looking at nearly 18 months ago now. It might have just... about a year ago, maybe. And it was very top-end. I got a nice, powerful processor and everything in it. And I basically got everything that I could in it around a GTX 1080, which at the time was one of the best graphics cards that money could buy. And beyond that, there's... Well, there's not really a lot to say. I got 32 gig of RAM, I think. I don't remember what else. I know it's pretty good. But it was like a custom-made one rather than an off-the-shelf type one. Built around... I run 4 monitors on the PC. I have 4 screens in front of me. I have a 24-inch screen that I do my gaming on. And then I have 3 22-inch screens around that I do everything else on. And I sort of use, in particular, I use the other screens for... one of them I use for recording, like I'm doing right now. I've got the voice on one of the screens so that I can actually see what's going on with it. And then I got another one over on the... Oh, he's annoyed with me now. The hunters are really difficult to beat, right? They can, like, do these really fast. Yeah, 4 monitors, which I use most of the time when I'm editing. When I'm gaming, I'm just using the one. And I do have on a second screen, like I said, the voice, and so I can sort of keep half an eye on it, so I can hopefully pick up on things that are going wrong with it before they become too much of a problem for people watching in videos. But that doesn't always work out, as many of you know. Right. Next one. We've got, what do you want most in FS19? That's a good question. That is a very good question. What do I want most? See, it's not any particular machine, although I would say I would very much like to have small bales in the base game. I would love to see small bales in the base game. If small bales are in the base game, it would mean I think it would be genuinely fantastic. It really would. And it would make such a difference to overall gameplay options. It really would. There'd be so many different things that you could do with the small bales in there to start with. I know that we've got the horses coming in, so I sort of feel that it would go hand in hand with the horses and having those as well. Being able to feed them with small bales. I would genuinely love to see that. So rather than that being a mod, other than that, I would say some kind of auto-load trailer. And like, put the proper auto-load that we've all, you know, the universal auto-load script for logs or bales, or both actually, put that into the base game. Build that into the game, because so many of us use it anyway. I think it'd be pretty cool to have that in the base game. But I don't think any of those are going to come into the game. And I would say maybe seasons would be the other thing. Seasons would be the last thing that I think that I would want included in the game outside of mods. James McMahon, what starter map will you do for FS19? I genuinely don't know. I am most likely going to do for the time lapse. I think there's a German map. most likely. I'm not saying it's going to be definite, though, at the moment. At the moment, I genuinely don't know which one I'm going to do, but I am leaning towards the German map. But we will see. I've found out, you know, I thought that the US map was sort of like mid to north US. But it looks like the US map is actually further south, and it's the one that's got all the palm trees on it that I've seen in the trailer video. If that's the case, I may very well do the US map. So at the moment, I really don't know. I might end up doing a vote on which one people want me to which one people want me to do Let's Play on. And then I'll use one of the other ones for doing... Well, I'll use the other new map for doing the time-lapse. I'm not going to start off doing time-lapse on the Estancia Lapacho map, even though I have heard that that one is being released with the base game to start off with. So that's as much as I can tell you at the moment, because, quite honestly, I genuinely don't know for certain which one it's going to be. Tiny Big Man, what's your inside leg measurement? That's a bit personal. I say... That is extremely personal. And I don't actually know. I haven't got a clue. Not a clue. 30-something, is it? I don't know. I think I'm a 36... I think my trousers are 36 long. So there's a 36 waist here in the UK. And I have a long leg. So I think most of my... Because Sen buys my clothes. I genuinely haven't got a clue. Sen buys my clothes for me. I don't think I've bought clothes since... Now that I think about it, I've gone and bought shorts a couple of times. I've gone and bought some t-shirts a couple of times. Beyond that, I honestly don't believe I've ever gone and bought myself clothes. I've never gone into a clothes shop to buy new clothes. Either my mother has bought me clothes or Sen has bought me clothes, my wife. And I've never actually gone and been measured for a suit or anything like that. I've got one... I did have a suit. I don't think I've even... Yeah, I do. No, I got a suit jacket at the moment. I did have a suit for a little while in college, but that was an off-the-rack thing from a charity shop. Served its purpose. I'm not really the sort of person that tends to go to events that require anything more than a t-shirt. And if they do, I generally don't want to go. So, yeah, I'm not really a dressy-up sort of person. So knowing things like my inside leg measurement has never really been anything that has been... I've never really needed to know it at any point. But interesting question. So yeah, 36 long, whatever that means, if it means anything to you, 36 long is about as close as I can get, I think. Yeah, interesting question. Tiny Big Man, where are you now? I'm in front of my computer. I'm in Cornwall in the UK, which is the furthest southwest county of the UK. And unlike the US, we don't have states. Our entire country is divided up into counties. And... that's it. We have counties, and I am as far southwest as you can get. I'm not going to narrow it down any more than that. I'm not right in the very far southwest of Cornwall, but I am in Cornwall, so I'm not going to narrow it down any further than that. And those of you that do know more than that, I would ask that you don't share that information. And please respect my privacy. Not necessarily for me, but more for my children, which is why I work very hard to make sure such information doesn't get, like, bandied around on the internet. I like to try to keep in particular, my children's lives private. And I do actually work hard at that at the moment. And as my channel is growing, I'm taking steps to make sure that such information is kept out of the public eye. So I'll tell you that it's Cornwall. Beyond that, nope, I'm not saying a word. Seaman666, how old are you? I am 37 years old, and I turn 38 years old in March. March the 13th, to be exact. And little extra detail for you. I was born on Friday the 13th. Yes, I was. I was born on Friday the 13th, and it has always been a small source of pride to me that I was born on Friday the 13th. Something that I've always quite liked, that little tiny tidbit. But yeah, I'm 37, turning 38 next spring. Just grab that one. How many bones have we picked up now? 560. Not very many. These primal eggs here, they hatch into a mount, but I've already got all 3 mounts that drop from them. There's one other mount that drops here, and that is from a big boss that spawns here every so often, and then a load of people will turn up and try and take it down. Harshal Sadwelkar, what are the specs of your PC? We've just gone over that. Why are Mike Pealu? Why are you my favorite YouTuber? I don't know. I honestly couldn't answer that one. I could guess that maybe I'm more entertaining to you than some of the other YouTubers, but beyond that, I really haven't got the foggiest. I genuinely look at the people. I get people watching my videos, and I look at this and I look at the number of people that watch videos, and I sort of think, well, why are you watching me? There are so many other YouTubers out there. I genuinely have no idea why you're watching me. I mean, I do my best to try to get you to watch me, but at the same time, I still don't know why you do. So, you could probably answer that question better than I could. Patrio Gracemark. When recording the time-lapse series, I've noticed the camera stays very steady. Does this present any challenges outside of roadside trees getting in the way? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And in particular, if I'm doing like a lot of road work, delivering and things like that, the challenge is trying to give a variation. There's that one that you need to destroy. You could take that mount down, Undasta, and there is a chance of getting a mount from her. The challenge is when doing a time-lapse, if I'm like doing a lot of delivery quests, just delivering, selling a load of road work and things like that, is being able to have the camera anything other than behind where I'm driving. And it does make it more tricky. It's quite difficult to keep the camera in the right place, but move it round and like have it on one side of the tractor, because if you're driving if you're looking sideways onto the tractor as you're driving along, you can't see quite so much in front of you, and it does make it more difficult. It's much more difficult trying to stay on the road when you're doing something like that, and it does present quite a unique challenge being able to do that. If I'm working in a field, working in our own fields, if I can put the hired help going, I can run it with all kinds of different angles. I can, you can look at the front of the tractor and stuff like that. If I'm doing a job for someone, if I'm doing a contract and trying to do that, look, see, you can see these people lining up, they're queuing up, they're getting ready for Undasta to respawn. Yeah, if I'm doing a job, a contracting job for somebody, it does present more of a difficulty because you can't always go in front of the camera. Can't always go in front of the tractor, so then you're stuck behind, and if you have too long just behind the tractor, I find that the video could get a bit dull. Certainly, I find it a bit more dull watching it on the rerun. So then you've got to try and steer backwards if you can. A GPS mod is an absolute godsend for this, because I can set the GPS going, and I can use that in large part to sort of help me keep things running smoothly, and it really does make a genuine difference if I can do that. Beyond that, really no. That's kind of the main issue, is keeping the camera in the same position as I move around, or being very aware of the fact that if I have to move the camera, I need to do so steadily so that I don't cause a lot of jerky movements. I have done it in the past where I've moved the camera too much, and then when you get it playing back, and it speeds up overall, you're looking at anywhere from sort of 8 up to 30 times speed. And so if I'm moving the camera around quite a lot, if I'm doing a lot of yard work and I kind of forget about it for a minute, it ends up being quite blurry and unpleasant to watch. The same with in-cab driving. In-cab driving does not come out very well in time-lapse. For the most part, it just ends up giving you a load of motion sickness, which is not pleasant to watch at all, in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Right, he's just going to stand there and snivel and cower, and I don't think he changes now until she respawns, but I don't know when the respawn time is. No idea. So, yes, it does present some challenges, and most of the time when I'm recording time-lapse, I'm constantly aware of where I can position the camera to give a good and interesting angle of the vehicle that I'm using, so that it's something entertaining to watch, because you don't just want to be directly behind the tractor at all times. It doesn't make for that good a viewing if that's the only way you're doing it. And this is something that I am very conscious of all the time that I'm recording, is the fact that it becomes quite blurry and unpleasant to watch if I move very much at all.
Far away.
Moving a little bit onto that one. How are we doing for time? We're about 20 minutes in. That's okay. We can keep going. Alexander Lewis, are you still doing the 100k face reveal? You can bet your bottom dollar. I am doing. When I reach 100,000 subscribers, I will be doing a face reveal. However long that takes, it may take months, it may take years, it may happen in a week. It's probably more likely to take longer than a week, and actually going to take a lot longer than a week, but I will be doing it. In fact, me and Sen have already started looking at what would be a suitable camera to do it with, because I don't really have anything at the moment that I think would be suitable for doing a face reveal video. Whether or not Sen actually appears in the video, we don't know at the moment. It will depend entirely on how she feels at the time. So if she doesn't decide to appear in the video, then it will be a photo of Sen instead, rather than actual video. Both of my children are absolutely dead keen on doing it. In particular, my youngest son, who has autism, he would really like to start appearing in videos on a regular basis. He really would. He wants to do games with me. He wants me to play Minecraft with him on the channel, and at the moment I'm not going to do that. But it is something he's been asking me to do for quite a long time. So he's definitely going to want to appear in it, and so is my other son as well. So they will, unless we decide that it's really not in their best interests, because they're both quite young. One is 12 and one is 9. So unless me and Sen decide that it is not in their best interest to appear in the video, you will see my sons and you will see a photo of Sen. You may not see anything else. You know, there may not be live action video footage of Sen Lair dancing around. But you'll at least get to see her, and there will be me, and I'll be talking incessantly to the camera like I normally do, and I'll probably show you a video of just like my gaming setup or something like that after sort of letting you look at my ugly mug. Because a number of people have actually requested it, I won't be posting any face reveal video on the main channel. It would be posted on Frithgar 2.0. So I will let you know when it's there, but I will post it on Frithgar 2.0 because there's a number of people that don't actually want to see my face. And they like the fact that they can't, because you build up your own image of what a person looks like. And I fully appreciate that, so I won't be doing a face reveal video or videos with my face on them on the channel. At least not, and it's not anything that I'm planning to do at any point, certainly not in the near future at least. Just because I don't think there's a need to. I don't do any games that would benefit from having a face cam on them, I don't think. So I've got no plans to do that in the future either, at least not at the moment. But yes, in answer to your question, I do have every intention of doing the 100k face reveal. Thomas Clausen, face reveal please. Yep. Cody, do you plan on carrying on with City Skylines, or are you going to stop it? I'm carrying on with it at the moment. It's quite popular. I really quite enjoy playing it as well. I have a lot of fun playing that game, especially now that I've sort of gotten with mods and I'm starting to do some more crazy stuff with it. You know, drowning everybody and things like that. I really do enjoy playing it. It's a lot of fun. So yes, I do intend to carry on doing it as long as I can. Until everybody gets bored with it, essentially. I'll keep going until nobody wants to watch it. Much the same as I do with a lot of the other series. Although, the Warcraft series, I don't sort of intend to stop that one now. I did take a break from it for a while because it wasn't particularly popular. But I have all, you know, I did earlier in the year. I had the great cull of 2018. I stopped playing a load of games, and World of Warcraft was among them. I was only doing an episode a week on it at the time, and one of the biggest regrets I had about making the big drastic changes to the channel was stopping World of Warcraft. This game, I put more hours into this game than I have of any other game I've ever owned. I'm not ashamed of that in the slightest. I know that Warcraft does have its haters out there. I absolutely love this game. I genuinely love playing this game. I never get tired of it. I may take breaks from it for a while, like I have done for quite a bit in the last couple of years, but I'd love coming back to it. I absolutely love this game, and so I don't intend to stop playing this one either. But no, answer to your question, City Skylines, no, I have no plans of stopping that one at the moment. Certainly not in the near future. It's actually growing more popular as I start to do more unpleasant things to the people that live in my city. And I'm not sure if that reflects more on me or it reflects on you, the viewers. But yes, you all seem to like it when I do nasty things to the people that live in my city. I'm starting to feel sorry for them. Or I would if they lived long enough for me to feel sorry for them. So, no, I'm not planning to stop that. What timescale and difficulty do you play the time-lapse on? Also, how much do you speed them up? Timescale is ×1 unless I am skipping forward some time in order to get to the next job that I want to do. I don't just kind of hang around waiting for time to go by. I speed it up as fast as possible whenever I can. And then once I've done that, I'll then go on with the next job. The actual... What else would that question say? This is by Gwal 20. Cody was the one that said about City Skylines. Gwal 2020. Timescale difficulty. At the moment, I'm playing on normal, actually. Although I have previously done it on hard. Although that didn't actually work out so well. I ended up having to repeat quite a lot of different tasks, a lot more. Which ended up, I got more negative feedback on that, which is understandable. It wasn't quite so entertaining to watch me doing the same thing over just to try and dig myself out of a little financial hole. So that's why I'm playing this one on normal rather than on hard. And how much do I speed them up? I said that already. And it literally is anywhere from 1 times speed all the way up to about 30 times speed. I think occasionally I may even go as high as 50 times speed. It purely depends on what I'm doing and on the video that I'm making and so on and so forth. There's no sort of hard and fast time on that. Literally, you just got to judge it by ear and by sight as you go along and you do the editing and so on, if you're planning on actually making them. It's a lot of trial and effort on how you make them and what goes into making them and all sorts of stuff. Right, what else we got down here? TK Footballster 60. When recording your videos, does your wife or kid sit in the room with you so you're not talking to yourself? No, they don't. They never sit in the room with me. I am always on my own whenever I am recording. I think maybe Sen has sat in here once or twice, but honestly, I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to people who are watching the videos. So I just have this image of a big random faceless sort of... Well, mostly it's just a random faceless sort of person. I may think of 1 or 2 fans in particular at times, particularly if I'm doing a series that I know has got a lot of interaction from 1 or 2 people. But no, I generally try to avoid having... like I said, Sen has been in a room while I've been doing it, but I find that quite off-putting, and I'm not able to produce the best quality material when I got somebody watching. For the same reason, I edit my videos, and I do listen to like little clips of myself, but I don't watch the whole video back. There are bits that I will watch back, but I never watch back the whole video because I always second-guess myself, and then I don't like the video. So what I generally do, and what I found to be the best way for me to do it, is to make the video and then just set it out onto the Great Lake, set it afloat on the Great Lake of the internet, and not watch it. I don't watch my own videos because I'm too harsh a critic of my own stuff and the own stuff that I do. And I take into account what people tell me, and then I try to remember those comments when I'm next recording. So that's where most of it comes in. But no, overall, I generally just talk to myself in an empty room, which is by far, for me, the best way of doing any kind of recording. I can't do it with people in here. It really does put me off. Like, big time. Absolutely big time. So that was Tiny Big Man. What is immediately to your left? My iPad, from which I'm reading all of these questions. I know I said I've got all of these screens and monitors and stuff, but the reason that I don't actually have the questions on another monitor is because I'd have to move the mouse cursor here off to the side and use that one then to to scroll through the questions, and that might interfere with how the recording is working, because the recording doesn't like when I flick between different screens. It can interfere with it, and it can cause it to bug or do other strange things. So, no, I've actually got my tablet. It's to my immediate left, and immediately left of my tablet is my cup of coffee. And my cup of coffee is not from a normal-sized cup. It's not just a cup. It's a very, very large cup in the shape of Tigger, who, quite frankly, is one of the greatest characters ever created. In part because he has ginger hair, the same as me. And also because if ever there was a character that had ADHD, it's Tigger. And I'm 37, so they didn't really diagnose anything like ADHD when I was in school, but I'm 99% certain that I would, these days, have a diagnosis of ADHD if I was in school. And you probably notice this when I'm playing games, when I'm doing my videos, because I'm very easily distracted by anything and everything. Somebody put a post up the other day of ADHD, and a person sat down to study ADHD and to find out what it meant for him as a person who had it. And 3 hours later, he came to the conclusion that the Canary Islands were named after the animal and not the other way round. Yeah, that basically sums up ADHD. I think that was it. It was something along the lines of the Canaries and the Canary Islands, and yeah. But yeah, I thought that was quite good, actually. He sits down to research his own ADHD and then finds out 3 hours later that it's something to do with the Canary Islands. And yeah, that's ADHD, basically. That's what happens. And so I have to work quite hard to focus my mind on anything that I do. So yes, that's why I like Tigger, and he is to my immediate left beyond the tablet. That was nothing to do with the... See, this is my problem. This is why I also want to try and keep this to 30 minutes, which we're just about up to now, because I tend to get distracted. The longer I talk, the more distracted I get. And, yeah, I was kind of hoping to avoid too many distractions.
I need to get closer.
Go on. There we go. There we go. We can take that one down. But yeah, this is exactly what happens. This is my life in a nutshell. Seriously? I hate it when they do that. I know it's only a couple of bones and I've got loads and loads of them by running around here, but still, it is frustrating when you can't reach them after you've killed them. I've already killed him and now I can't reach him. Very, very upsetting. Let's go. We'll do one more, I think. So, Piotr Gaming, or Peter Gaming. Hang on, let me just grab that devil saw over there. What program do you use to record your videos, and what do you use to edit them? P.S. You may remember me from the email I sent you about the Plough Working Area edit when you told me. Helped me out a lot. Thank you so much for the real quick and informative reply, and keep up the good work, Frithgar. No worries at all. That was just about how to edit the width, I think, on the working width on a plough, if you want to like widen it or shorten it. Honestly, I didn't think that I was that useful in my reply. I tried to be, but yeah, apparently I was useful. So there we go. There's a thing I've learned today. I was actually useful. I'm going to have to tell Sen this. Look, Sen, look, I was useful. I don't think she'll believe me. I really don't. She'll say, well, why can't you be useful doing the dishes then? Well, I am sometimes useful doing the dishes. Let me... Can I get up? I don't think I can get... No, I can't. See, I gotta get up onto there, and I don't think I can do that. And you can't fly on this island either. This is a thing about this island. You can't fly on it. That's frustrating. Is that Undasta down there? Is she turning up? It's like... oh, no. No. No, it's not happening. That's disappointing. Right, so what do I use to record videos? Well, I'm recording right now with a program called D3D Gear. I gave away a different recording program, which some of the people that won it have high things to say about it. They said it was really good. And but it's not one that I actually use myself. I use D3D Gear, which is off of Steam. Reasonably priced, I feel. And it's really good. It doesn't take up system resources at all. Although most screen recorders these days are a lot better at that than they ever used to be. There used to be some, a lot of screen recorders, they really did slow your system down. I don't have any issues with my system being slowed down whatsoever with D3D Gear. It doesn't like if I go out of the game I'm playing while I'm recording. That will cause it to crash. But other than that, nope, it's pretty much completely foolproof. Completely idiot-proof. Which is pretty good, considering I'm the one that's using it. It does make it very useful for me. Let me just run down over here, and we'll grab that dire horn over there. There we go. And to edit the... Did you say what edit? Oh, and to edit them, I use Cyberlink software, which when I started using Cyberlink wasn't actually that well known. It was sort of quite a small, lesser well-known product, which a few people that had included it in tests had praised it quite highly, particularly for its speed for rendering videos, which made a big difference to me. It helped me out no end. The speed of the rendering is one of the big aspects of it that I really like. It has since gone way up. The latest versions of it are much, much better and much more well-known. PC Gaming, I think it's PC Gaming, or it might just be PC Magazine, whichever one it is. A PC Magazine, they've run some tests, and it was like second or third overall for like the best that money can buy. It's only being held back slightly by its price. It's always been fairly pricey. It's a really, really good bit of software. Cyberlink, and I use Cyberlink Power Director. I use Cyberlink Audio Director for editing the audio for the time-lapse, although I do use Audacity for recording voiceover, which is free. It's a completely 100% free program, so if you're starting out, I recommend you get that one for recording your voice, so that you can edit your voice separately to game. It does make a big difference to how it can sound, because sometimes the games can drown out your voice, and if you can't edit the files separately, it gives an overall much worse effect on your videos. You don't want to do that. So if you can keep them separate, you can edit the tracks separately, and it's really good. So Audacity or Audacity for that is absolutely wonderful. It's the one that I use, but also yeah, I do use, and what's the other one, is Photo Director as well from Cyberlink. So I got 3 of them. I've got them together as a package, and then I upgrade them when the new versions come out each year. If you can't afford to get them, which, yeah, I can understand, because it is quite a pricey bit of software. If you can't afford them, then go to their website. They allow you to lease it now each month. You can lease it, and you can buy a copy of it. Why are you going in and one-shotting? I mean, yeah, I am one-shotting them as well. See? One shot. It's a bit of a shame. But still. I'll keep going on. I'll let him have those. And well, I say let him have those, which feels rather magnanimous of me, considering that I'm not going to have a look in on those, which I'm running away. I'm going to go on up here and try and get some more. Yeah, Cyberlink, it allows you to lease the software. I think it's like £10 a month, kind of like Microsoft Office now do. £10 or £8 a month, whatever it might be, and then you've got the software and you've got all the uses from it. It's just you've got to pay a monthly subscription fee to it. Definitely worth doing if you can't afford the hefty price tag to go and buy the stuff in the first place. Strongly recommend that option. And yeah, I've never really had a problem with it. It's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, I used to have some issues with being able to render things properly with the massive files that I render with the time-lapse. But the newer version seems to cope with those a lot better. You know, it does help that I got a more powerful PC these days, and so the technology has advanced enough to be able to cope with it as well. You know, gone are the days where a big video file really did sort of hang your computer up, and I did once do a video file. The first time-lapse I ever did was a Minecraft one. Some of you may have seen it. It's one of actually Stampy Cat and Squashy, real life photo. I took that and I turned it into a Minecraft picture, and that one I recorded the whole thing, and then I edited it and rendered it. It took 38 hours for that one to render. 38 hours for that one to process. Fortunately, it didn't crash in the process, and I was still very new to it, so I put that going all in one go, and I just left it running for 38 hours and wasn't able to use my computer, and I was very upset about that because I couldn't play my precious games, and I missed them. And I really did miss them. I get very attached to my games. I like my games. So, yes, I've gone over time now. I said 30 minutes, and I've gone over time because I've been rambling. So, yes, that is all we got time for with today's questionnaires. I've got enough questions on this list that you put on the channel that I could do another video next week, so I might do that. If you've got any different questions, you could always put them in today's video, and maybe I'll try and It might be next week. It might be the week after. I might leave it another week before I come back and do it again. So leave it a couple of weeks and then come back and answer a few more questions, because we've got the big giveaway next week. So maybe not detract from any attention away from that. We'll keep it going slightly differently. But anyway, don't forget the giveaway, right? It's massive, huge, amazing, wonderful, enormous giveaway where you are going to be able to get copies of this game that I'm playing right now. And you don't actually need to buy World of Warcraft anymore. It's all included with the subscription fee. You've only got to buy it if you want to be able to do the content that I've been doing in my latest episodes, the Battle for Azeroth. Everything else is included in a base subscription fee. You don't need to go and buy the game at all. There's nothing else to buy. And it's something that it's a step that they've taken that I really do love. And a lot of other people do as well. There's a lot of people coming in and playing this game that would otherwise not play it if they had to go and buy all the past expansions. So it's awesome. It's absolutely brilliant. I strongly recommend that you go, if you've never played it and you've always been on the bench, on the sidelines, sort of thinking, no, this game doesn't, I don't know. You can get a trial of it now. You can go up to level 20 for free. You can't take part in everything, all the social interactions, but you can quite a few of them. So it's definitely worth taking a look at. And like I said, my giveaway is coming. We got 4 copies of Battle for Azeroth to give away. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm so looking forward to this. But anyway, that's all we got time for. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. If you have questions for a future Q&A, stick them in the comment section down below, and I will quite possibly get round to them at some point. I may not. I honestly couldn't tell you either way at the moment. It depends on what Q&As we do in the future and what we don't. We'll see. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.